Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new Netflix original film, Coffee and Kareem. This is a perfect example of an hour and a half long action, adventure, thriller, comedy film. My attention span is very low to begin with, right? My plan was originally to read today. I got 2 chapters into the book I'm currently reading, and then my attention span was like, that's it. We're done. So I sat down, I played my Disney emoji game, and then I was like, you know what, let me see what new things are on Netflix, because the attention span just was not focusing. So I popped up Netflix, saw that this film was trending, and I was like, let me see what this is about. I love Ed Helms, and I love Taraji P. Henson, so watched the trailer, laughed my ass off with the trailer, watched this an hour and a half. That's it, an hour and a half movie. Laughed my ass off. Did not look at my phone once. Not once did I pick up my phone to watch this movie. I laughed continuously for an hour and a half. It is exactly what the trailer shows. You have Ed Helms playing this cop in Detroit. Last name is Coffee. Kareem is his girlfriend's son, Taraji P. Henson's son in the film. The two of them are dating. Kareem obviously doesn't like Coffee, tries to plan to get him murdered, but winds up getting involved in a drug deal / a dirty cop kind of escapade through the streets of Detroit. Car chase after car chase. That roundabout car chase scene between cop car and cop car and shooting at each other, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I could not stop laughing, especially when the boat comes out of nowhere and then the car just crashes, and it's just... Who would have thought pairing a 10-year-old kid who did a fantastic job with Ed Helms as a cop would work, let alone be absolutely hilarious? I have nothing negative to say about this film. This takes a lot of insecurities forward. It shows gang violence in a totally different light. Yes, there was racial divides, but in a comedic sense. It was very much abruptly in front of you. This is how things are. This is what we can do about it. But it was talking about who's dirty, who's not dirty, how to be aggressive and intimidating when you're normally not, who's scared, who's not scared, who can show fear, who can show happiness. All of these different subtexts were combined into this elaborate means of storytelling in an hour and a half comedy action thriller film. I laughed my ass off. I feel like this would have been a hilarious movie to see in the theaters, like an opening day weekend kind of thing, because the crowd reaction would have been hysterical. But because of the virus going around, we do not currently have a movie theater to go see anything in, and AMC is rumored to be closing completely because they can't financially come back from this. We shall see. I miss Regal. I miss going to the movies. I miss seeing crowd things. I know there's a video going around recently of an opening night crowd with Avengers Endgame, and the reactions that everybody had, and it was just absolutely perfect and wonderful. And the thing that's interesting is you don't get that sense of crowd participation that often, unless it's like an opening weekend kind of thing. Obviously, every Marvel movie gets that crowd participation. Love, Simon got an amazing crowd participation, which I've never seen outside of a superhero film. But this kind of comedy reminded me a lot of Tag, or what's another one? Like Let's Be Cops, or those kinds of like comedic, violent, Hangover, like those kind of like comedy action movies that gets that crowd type of reaction. That's what this reminded me of. But it was smart putting this to Netflix because it is very violent and it's very graphic and it's very curse filled. So it would have had an NC-17 rating probably if it went to theaters. So it's a good thing things are starting to be streamed now that are more realistic, if that makes any sense. Kids curse. People are violent. It's how things are. You can't just subdue everything together. So to have this 10-year-old just curse constantly and wave guns around and drive, I was going to say reluctantly and recklessly at the same time. It didn't work. But to have Ed Helms be, this hero cop in the end, it was just very entertaining. Taraji P. Henson just annihilating people. It was great. Obviously, I enjoyed this movie if my attention span is short to begin with, and I got to stay focused on this film. And here I am talking without minimal breathing about how awesome this film was. So if you get a chance during your self-isolation, quarantining, if you are oh so lucky enough to be doing so and not being involved in the public, Watch this. Coffee and Kareem on Netflix, original film. Absolutely hysterical. Hour and a half long. You will not regret it. Mucho mahalo.